Terence Jackson from Tuskegee, Alabama. I'm a fifth generation farmer. I was born and raised on a farm in Tuskegee where we raise horses and pigs every year. I was born into this. This has been my family's legacy. Intergenerational learning is what I've been doing all of my life. My first great teacher was my great-grandfather, who was the farmer. That taught me everything I know. I grew up with a huge family. It's a whole lot of us. A little about 150, 200 of us on one side, and probably close to that on my other side of my family too. So family is everything. And growing up around people who had that attachment to land and had those connections, because his friends had those connections too. You know, they would have their grandchildren out there with us. My great-grandfather was a man of community. We didn't sell any of our swine, our pigs, or our vegetables. Everything was given away, you know. Back in the day when they used to give away 5-gallon buckets of tomatoes and, you know, just bushes of peanuts and stuff like that. So that's really what I grew up around. Every year we had pigs, so the family would get together and process those animals so we can have meat. There's a lot of fellowship around the processing of these animals because we're sacrificing them so we can have something to eat. And a lot of people didn't have something to eat, so they would come and help us process the food. Once they help us process the animals, they would get meat also, and then they can have a meal that we cook there after we get through processing the animals. So a lot of my family grew up in Tuskegee. On my mother's side of the family, on my father's side of the family, there was in a small community called Tysonville. My great-grandfather got a piece of property, which is one of two plantations that was in that area. And then that land eventually became like community, a community farm. And my grandfather, he sold pieces of land to different families and eventually created a little village. About 6 years ago, Tysonville got a historic landmark for my families and the other families in the community contribution to that area. Yeah, just trying to preserve the history, preserve the land, and I always give that to my family and my ancestors because I wouldn't be here without them. I'm just thankful that they gave me the step forward that I have right now. As a kid, I was looking at it as, oh, I don't want to be a farmer. I don't want to be none of this. Even when I went to college, I was a computer science major. And then my great-grandfather, I came home, he was like, how's college? I was like, it's like high school. And like, you're not enjoying it? I was like, yeah, it's fun, but like the work is not what I want to do. And he was like, you just should try agriculture. It's like, you've done it all your life. It's just do it. He passed away like 2 weeks after that. And that what made me realize, like, he wanted me to do this in the beginning. He seen something in me that I didn't see in myself. So that just pushed me to go a little bit harder. I used to be mad because I had to get on the farm while everybody else doing their own thing. But I'm so happy that it led me to so many opportunities, becoming a better person, understanding patience. Agriculture brought my fiance into my life, you know, agriculture helping my family, continuing to help my family, you know. Growing up with a lot of family members, you'll see the need for a lot of food, and you'll see what it takes to feed an entire family. So growing up in that environment, I always knew that we weren't the only family that's out here holding on to agriculture because that helps subsidize a lot of the food. Also, we need to share the knowledge, be more local, and stop focus on the globalized everything when we have everything we need here. We just got to focus, reroute a lot of our resources, reprogram some of these things that we were taught, but it don't have to be a bad thing. You know, as a community, we can do it together. You know, I want to continue the legacy of Black farmers and let them know that we haven't gone anywhere. We're still here. We're still fighting, and we're a community. We're in this together. Like I said in the beginning, it's an honor and a privilege to be 5 generations in. Basically, my family been farming since we've been free, and I feel like I've been anointed to carry that journey on. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I know my ancestors got my back.